So here's a really cool thing which came up with the muscle activation training last week. And one of the guys there had run a marathon like the Sunday, and it was a Monday, Tuesday course, and he was saying that he felt really, really tired, and he was really, really sore, and you could see he was kind of hobbling around, and he was like, oh yeah, my calves, my calves, my calves. And he was like, oh, it's DOMS, it's delayed onset muscle soreness. And anyone who's done much in the way of sport, anyone who's done much in the way of training will know that feeling. So the day after, 2 days after, you just feel really tight and you're really sore. And most people go, oh, it's lactic acid. And that's quite an interesting thing, because that comes from a study, I think it was 1923. And the idea is that the body uses oxygen and glycogen, and the two form a chemical reaction which produces a thing called adenosine triphosphate, ATP. And ATP is the fuel used by every single cell in the body. So when you use up all the ATP, when you can't get enough oxygen into your system, when you have run low on your reserves of glycogen, then the body has to do something called anaerobic respiration. And anaerobic respiration produces lactic acid. And lactic acid has always been thought to be the thing that makes muscles sore, which is kind of quirky because lactic acid runs through the system within a couple of hours. And really, when you've got soreness for like 36, 48 hours after that, sort of doesn't make sense. So a professor called Tim Noakes and his team came up with the central governing fatigue theory. And I've got some notes because there's ideas, big concepts that I need to keep my brain around as we talk. So Noakes was working on the fact that, let's find it correctly, he looked at cyclists and he proposed that if fatigue is due to muscle fibres hitting their limits, there should be an increase in the muscle fibre recruitment within the body. That would make sense that recruit more muscles, use more energy, need more oxygen, more likely to slip into anaerobic respiration and the creation of lactic acid to make you sore. But what they actually found was that when you get to a point of fatigue, there is less electrical activity, so there is less recruitment of fibres. That means that fatigue happens in the brain rather than in the muscles, that it's based on a physiological, subconscious and conscious perception of what's going on, rather than what the muscles are telling you that they're experiencing. So it's not a direct event. It's not the muscles going, I'm sore, stop, hold back. It's the brain imposing limits on the number of motor units within each muscle that can be recruited to help you produce forward effort and movement and momentum. And that's really cool, because it really changes then how we think about fatigue. And it changes how we can treat fatigue. If fatigue is an emotional thing or a subconscious conscious thing where the brain is putting limitations on the muscles, what we do traditionally is we go for a deep tissue massage, or we go for some kind of treatment which we feel is pushing the lactic acid out of the muscles. But really what it's doing, it's telling the brain to release the brakes on those muscle sets. It's telling the brain that it's okay to step back and that it's okay to recruit those muscle fibers again. If you use something like muscle activation, so that every single muscle group in the body knows exactly what its task is, it's only performing its task, it's not trying to compensate for anybody else's slack behaviour of the muscle. That means that when you use muscle activation after an event, you get like lightning quick recovery from DOMS. So that's really, really exciting. And we saw this guy who'd been complaining about his muscle soreness. We saw him hobbling around as though his calves were made of grit and granite. And 10 minutes on the couch, a little bit of tweaking, getting his brain to realise that the calves were safe and that the calves were no longer dealing with stress, which is going to cause fatigue. The brain let go of the muscle groups and he was walking around as happy as you like. So that's just a little one. Some little ramblings in my head with my index cards. Hope you're having a good day. If you want to find out more about muscle activation, please check out the website. It's thrivesheffield.co.uk, or give me a call and you'll find all the details on the website too. See you later. Bye.